Hi guys, how are we doing? It's time to connect with Caroline again. I know I've really never officially introduced myself to you all, so I thought maybe this is the right time for me to just do that. Well, again, my name is Caroline Bukuba and my maiden name is Bokwe. I am a registered social worker in my jurisdiction. I am a mother, a wife, and there's many other portfolios that I hold. I'm just going to keep it to the basics because I don't want to take too much of your time talking about all of that. And I would say in the past I've been a co-chair of an organization called WUSC. It's a World University Services Canada, and I held that position when I was a student at Centennial College. I held that position for 2 years, from 2007 to 2009, where I represented the school in different portfolios. You can check that organization out, World University Services Canada. And I've held other positions, board director in daycare centers around the city. I am currently a member of, or co-founder of, an association called 6C, which is a Six Sisters Empowerment Association Canada. And I am a motivational speaker, I am a community leader, an advocate for girls and women, and I am also a founder and executive director of a little project, very personal to me. I hold it at heart. It's called Gullibility. I know if you go on the internet to look for it, you will never find it because it's not registered anywhere. But the reason why I let it stay at that is because of the passion that I have for it. I am that person who does not like to take credit for too many things that I do. Like, I don't want to be seen out there doing things and I don't want the name for myself. So I have been running that project single-handedly since 2012, where I support young girls in my hometown. I support young girls through basic needs, educational supplies, school fees, clothing support, and all of that. So I continue to do that, but with that project I feel like it's time for me to come out and maybe make it big and open, exposed, so many people can benefit from that. So recently I'm beginning to be on, maybe you may have seen postings on Facebook and stuff. So yeah, basically that is me. And I love being me. I love doing things that make me happy. And that is the reason why I wanted to talk to you all today. But before I go into that part of it, I just wanted to share something very quick with you. What really takes you out of bed in the morning? I have to get out of bed and face the day. What really makes you strong? Is it your family? Is it your kids? Is it your job? For me, it's a lot of things. I take so many things into consideration because I cannot tell you. The best thing that you can do for yourself is to get a job that you love, that when you get up from bed in the morning, you feel very motivated, knowing that when you go out there to render your services, that you're changing somebody's life. So that's very important. But I just wanted to touch this little. When you set your goals in life, how do you go about that? How do you make it work? Because it can be very crucial. And this goes to the young men and women growing out there, maybe still in high school, who are still thinking of the kind of profession that they have to pursue in future. How do you go about making that decision to ensure that what you want to do in future is something that you're going to enjoy? So what I will share with you is that whenever you are making that decision, when you sit there and you're thinking, tomorrow, what do I want to do? I need you to make sure that your goals are SMART. Now, what do I mean by SMART? This, I would say, is an abbreviation. So I'm going to break it down for you because I need you to understand exactly how to go about this SMART tool. When you set up your goals, make sure that you are specific in doing so. If you're not responding to questions like who is involved, what to accomplish, where will it be accomplished, what place, when, exactly, like time frames. If you can't answer which path to follow, what am I supposed to do first and then next, if you cannot say why you are setting that goal or why you're choosing that path, then there's a problem. So make sure when you set your goal, you are very specific instead of being general. Oh, well, I'm just gonna do la la la. You're not quoting names. You're not saying where. You're not saying what is involved. Make sure that you're responding to these, the who, what, where, when, which, why questions in order to know exactly what your goal is and if it is attainable. I'm already stepping like way further than. So the next step will be the M, the measure. Is it measurable? What will you do? By what time? Make sure you're measuring yourself. By a week's time, I should be able to do what? I will do ABC by 3 weeks. I will do ABC by a month's time. Give yourself that time frame, okay? And then the next thing I would say, make sure that whatever goal you're setting is achievable. Are you sure that what you say you want to become, what you say you want to do, can be done, right? What is it going to take for you to get there? Is it through training that you're going to achieve that? Then go to school. Is it through savings that you're going to be able to achieve that? Take, for example, you want to buy a car. You need money, right? So get a job. So make sure that you are setting those goals that are achievable, and you will know exactly how to walk past it. And those goals have to be realistic as well. Now, when I say realistic, can it be accomplished? So take, for example, you say, well, the goal that I'm setting is going to require a bachelor's degree or master's degree, and you're going to school. Yes, of course, it's realistic because you can actually go to school and graduate and get that certificate. Then you can achieve your goal. If it's the job, if it's savings that you need, is it realistic? Of course, yes, it's realistic because if I get a job, I'm going to be able to save money and I will gather enough money. I don't know if it's 2 years or 3 years, and I will get the car that I'm looking for, right? So you cannot say, I will dig down Mount Fako in a month. Is that realistic? I would say no. So give yourself those goals that are realistic, that you know that you can achieve. For example, if I say, I need a degree in order for me to get this particular kind of job. It's realistic, right? So I'm going to go to school. It takes me 3 years to get the job. Is that realistic? Yeah. As soon as I register and I start my school, 3 years time, if I focus very well, I'm going to graduate with that degree and I'll get it. Okay? All right. So we move to the last part, which is the T, time frame. Time frame. It's already mentioned under realistic. Yes, in 3 years, I'm going to graduate with a degree. So yes. So look for those goals you already know you're setting in place. Okay. So in 3 years time, I am graduating with a degree. So you already know in your mind that 3 years has been set aside for me to go to school and get my degree, and I'm going to focus on that. Or it's you doing your savings. You say 2 years time, if I save $100 or if I save 100 francs every day, in 2 years I'm going to raise this amount of money, and it's going to be able to I'm going to be able to meet the goal that I set in the beginning, because this is the amount that I'm supposed to raise to get that, right? So make sure that your goals are always very specific. So now coming back to myself, when I moved to Canada, and you know, when you find yourself in a new place, there's so many, with so many opportunities. You're thinking left, right, center. Oh my God, this is available, that is available. I want to do A, B, C. And then you meet people who are already in certain fields and they are trying to sway you to do exactly what you're doing. When I came, the motivation at the time for everyone in my community, or most people in my community, was nursing. Everybody's doing nursing. Yes, do nursing because of the money. I would say specifically or personally, I don't just believe in working for money. I need to be able to be comfortable doing what I'm doing, and through that comfort I will make the money to support my family. So when that pressure came in, you need to do nursing, I sat back and I worried for myself, thought about it, and I came to the conclusion that, you know what, I'm not going to follow the crowd. I am me. I'm going to be me, because at the end of the day, it's going to be me leaving the house every day to go to work, and I don't want that kind of pressure. I don't want to get up in the morning and I'm not motivated, right? So what motivates me, it's me jumping down and getting off to work with the community, the youth, the seniors, the children out there, which is what I love doing. So when I came and all this pressure was just hovering around me, I made that decision that, listen, I'm just gonna go back to exactly what I was doing before I left my country. I used to be a teacher, and I said, well, let me try and see if I can continue to do teaching here, because I just love working with those kids out there. And I tried, went through a series of organizations to evaluate my credentials, and it really didn't work out. All the certificates that I brought, and teaching certificates that I brought, it took me 2 years trying to evaluate those certificates with World Education Services. I had to send documents back to my country and for the ministries and everything to process it and send back. That didn't happen. I had to switch. So when I did the switch, I had to look for professions that would really just blend with teaching. So I chose to do social work. But before that, I know I needed experience in all little things, so I had to do a lot of volunteer in the community. And I can clearly remember the first time that I mingled in the community. I was sent to facilitate a small group of students, just to give me that feel of teaching again when I was trying to set up myself, right? And I remember walking into this workshop room with about 11 students. I will not call names of schools. And I walked in. As soon as I started talking with my deep African accent, one of the students raised their hand and said, excuse me, where do you come from? And I said, okay, does that matter? Why are you asking? They're like, well, never mind. And I continued talking. But while I was facilitating the group, about 2 or 3, including the student who asked me the question, they started fidgeting on the side. And in my mind, I was scared, I was panicking, I was worried. Remind you, this is a new community and I really don't even know how to react. I don't know what's going to be considered as right or wrong. So I was trying to be as careful as possible, right? And after they did all of the chit-chat on the side, all 3 woke up and left my group. And they went to the next room to join the other groups, and I could hear, it wasn't really far. I think it was the same space with different tables, right? And I could see them walk to the next, my colleague who was there with me as well. I could see them walk there to say they want to join that group. And my colleague told them that, no, we already divided the groups into the same number of students. So you cannot join this group because it's going to make that group how many? 11 plus 3, 14. So they had to come back. They came back grumbling, sat there. I continued with that. But I can guarantee you that from that moment, I was not myself. And when we finished that session, I went outside, explained everything. I know they saw it, my co-workers, they saw it. But I had to explain everything that happened in detail. And that really stressed me out. I was at the point of not continuing with teaching or working with kids at all. I say kids, but these were youth, right? These were teenagers. And it really bothered me. I told them, I said, I'm not coming back next week, because this was like a motivational session that we had to deal with different kinds of goals on a weekly basis. I told them I'm not coming back. But they said, no, Caroline, you've already told us what your goal is to integrate into this community. You are going to set the rules and come back next week. So I went home, shared the experience with my husband, and it wasn't easy. We talked about it. I gathered the courage, and I went back the next week. And together with the same group, we set up ground rules for what's going to be happening within the group. I shared my feelings from last week, and those students apologized for it. But guys, I can tell you that I learned a big lesson from that experience. That is the reason why I am here today. That is the reason why I am a social worker today. Because of that experience, because of what they showed me, because of how they treated me, I took it upon myself to continuously work with young boys and girls, to inspire them with my story, to make sure that if at all, at any time that I'm running small groups like I do on a daily basis, I share this story to make sure that if there is anybody in the room feeling that way, if you are a new immigrant in the room, if you have no experience in the room, if you have language barrier in the room, that story in itself breaks that and makes them comfortable. I cannot tell you how many times I've received little talks after sessions like that, just to say, Caroline, thank you so much for sharing that experience, because that's exactly how I'm feeling sitting here with all these people that I know. I feel that I'm more experienced than myself. So never let somebody define your life for you. If I had let that situation, that experience, to define my future, I don't know where I would have been today. Maybe I would have registered, I would have just gone back to school to do another kind of profession that I did not like, that would not inspire me in the morning to go to work, that would not motivate me to get up in the morning. But I chose not to. But I'm not giving the credit just to myself. I give the credit to those people who supported me and motivated me and encouraged me to stick to what I believe in, to stick to my goal and make it work, right? So I hope that this resonates. I hope that this helps somebody out there, because it changed my life. That is why I am so loving what I'm doing. That's why I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And I hope that nobody else goes through that kind of experience to the point where they make harsh decisions that would not favor them in the long run. So thank you so much. Now I know you know so much about me, and definitely we're going to continue to work together. When I come back next time, I'm going to tell you more about my project Gullibility, because like I said again, I hold that very close to heart. Thank you so much, and continue to stay safe.